All right, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a little story for y'all. Tell y'all about my childhood a little bit. I had a pet named Toby that I didn't treat so well because I didn't want to take care of the dog. Um, Begged my mother for the dog. Didn't do what I was supposed to do. It was cold outside. I had to get up extra early in the morning. So anyway, enough about that. You'll hear it in the story in the video. But also, we're going to get into what we came for, which is to learn a little bit about art. We're going to get into what using diagonal lines and leading lines are all about in your composition because it draws your attention to your focal point. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Thanks for rocking with Papa Ghost too. All right. Well, I got you here. Don't forget to pick up your merchandise. My personal favorite are the hoodies, but we got you though from hoodies to coffee mugs to iPad covers. You'll find the links in the description below. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're all in a good mood. If not, I got something special for you today. I'm going to put you in a good mood. That's the beautiful thing about art. It should be able to change a person's mood. It should have that type of effect on a person. And if you're familiar with my channel, then you know I'm into a lot of different types of creative things. Now, first of all, I want to show you what it is I'm using. This is my first time using this particular type of color pencil. This is a watercolor pencil. This is my first time using it, and I seen other artists using it, and what attracted me to it was how sharp they were able to get the details. I like watercolor. I like the effect. To me, it's a beautiful, beautiful type of art. Me personally, I just like to get little details like eyelashes and eyebrows and things like that. I like for them to be fine. I don't defined. I don't like for those to be kind of washed with that washed look, that watery look or that spread it out look. I like for them to be defined. This video is going into using diagonal lines for movement because in art that's very important. You want your image to show movement, and you do that by using diagonal lines. So like if you're drawing a person, you want to draw them, like for instance a sports figure, somebody that's running. You want to draw them with using a lot of diagonal lines because diagonal lines automatically imply movement. In this one, I'm trying to get you to see her movement. So there are certain parts of the image I'm going to define and I'm going to use, and you'll see as we get more into the video. I'm trying to give you the impression of watercolor, but also give you a defined or well-defined, clear vision of what it is I've drawn. You'll notice in a lot of artists' work, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's art. So there are really no rules to it. You learn the fundamentals and the basics, and then you start creating. Okay, that's how it go. So what I've noticed though is in a lot of artists' work, that wash look over the whole thing, to me, that's not attractive to me. It kind of takes away from what are you trying to draw me into? Where are you trying to take me? I like to build stuff, work on stuff, draw, paint, just be creative, generally, overall be creative. I do music. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one of the tracks that I made in the background as we get into the video. Then I got a special treat for y'all at the end, a little short story about one of my pets. I used to have a dog. His name was Toby, and I wasn't very nice to Toby. And I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to try to anyway. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the different colors that I'm going to be using because you use the colors you want to use. Me, now, it's good to go ahead and pick out the colors you're going to use, especially if you know what you're going to do. Me, I like to freestyle with it. I like to kind of pick out colors and then experiment with them as I go when I'm doing a painting or a drawing or something like that. I like to kind of go with the flow. But, it's a good idea though if you want to pick out the colors you want to use. But like I said, you're going to see me using all kind of different colors. Now, if you want me to specifically break down what I did, but right now, we just rolling, y'all. We just rolling. We having fun. And I want y'all to enjoy what y'all seeing. I just want y'all to enjoy, and I hope you learn something. I sped the video up, of course, because it would have been like extremely long had I not done that. Of course, you want to try to use the best quality of or brand of pencil that you can find or material that you can find. But if you're an artist and you are you can pretty much use what you got, know how to use what you got, then let your work speak for us. It's not about everything. A lot of times we get caught up on what brands we're using and stuff like that, but it's not about that. If you're focused on what it is you're doing and you got a clear vision on how you want to roll and you actually apply yourself, you put in the work and put in the effort and you hone your craft and your skill, you can take just about anything and make something great out of it, make something that looks great with it. So it wasn't about what type of pencils these were or anything like that. I don't even use a particular brand of material. Like when I'm working with stuff, sometimes I'll try it out before I use it. Of course, you don't want it to be too shoddy or too you want to be able to use it. But for the most part, you don't worry about that stuff. You take what you got, use it, make the best of it. Whatever you got around you, start today. You can start today. Whether it's pencils, pens, or whatever it is, then just start, because you got to start somewhere. And you can get into the more expensive stuff, the more high quality stuff. Okay, now remember, take your time with the colors and blending the colors. You're gonna blend these colors just like you would with regular color pencils. The difference is with these, it's like magic. When you add the water to it, and this is my first time messing with these color pencils. When I saw a video on YouTube, I saw a couple of videos as a matter of fact, but I just saw the precision, I saw the detail that you could get when you sharpen these pencils. And that's one of the things that turned me off about watercolors in the past is that washed out look. Some artists are great with it. Some artists, they got it together. I guess they've done it so long, they can pretty much figure out how to make the colors blend together using the water. But for the most part, I see a bunch of mixed, blurred out, washed out colors in a lot of people's work, and that's just not my thing. Because I guess I drew for so long with just regular graphite pencils that when I started getting into painting, when I started getting into other mediums, I like that. I like being able to control the tip of that pencil. So when I'm painting, like that brush, I use very, very small brushes. The tips of my brushes are very fine, very small, because I like to kind of get into the corners and to be able to control it. Like I want to know when I push this, when I make this brush stroke, when I push this brush this way, this is what's gonna happen. I want to be able to control the results. And in life, you'll find that you can't control a lot of stuff. So as an artist, art is what gives a lot of people freedom. That's why I think so many people love it. So many people are into it, is because it does give you a sense of freedom. Even artists have responsibility, but you are so much freer to just experiment. You're so much freer just to if you want to make here recently, I've been learning about a gentleman named Ernie Barnes, and he is famous for his elongated limbs in his paintings. If you're familiar with a show, and I know a lot of you are probably a lot younger than I am, but back in the 70s there was a show called The Good Times, or Good Times. And in this show, when the show first came on, they would show a painting of some people in a club type atmosphere dancing, and the artist's style just immediately popped out. It immediately said, it showed you what his intentions were. In his art, his art displays a lot of movement, but again, that's one thing that that you're able to do. You're able to express yourself, and you're able to do it without anybody condemning you in any kind of way. And we appreciate, like real artists, we appreciate things that are different. We appreciate artists who kind of push the boundaries. We appreciate, our brothers and sisters in our community. But at the same time, when you get to a certain age in life, I guess, I'm a father, and so my children are adults now, but at the same time I have grandchildren, so I just like to be responsible. I want to be responsible. If you notice if you'll notice in my work, you'll notice a lot of family-oriented subject matter. That's what I like to focus on. I like to focus on unity. When it comes to people, I like to focus on family, because that's what brings me the most joy and the most peace. Yeah. Now, it's a lot of artists that are great in what they do. I really like I'm more, and I guess this comes from my background I like realism. I like seeing things that are, I've never really been into the cartoonish look too much, but I love when other people do it. Ain't that weird? Ain't that strange? I really enjoy when other people make some eyes that are exaggerated, or nose that's exaggerated, or ears. I really like to see other people do that type of work. I really do. Me personally, I just cannot do it. Now, that's something that I'm going to make myself do. I'm going to push myself to kind of, because honestly, I think that goes back to being able to know how to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to know how to play as an artist. You have to be able to have fun with it. You have to make it fun. You have to make it fun. I've studied artists, and I've watched, I've studied the careers in art, and I've seen how so many artists, so many talented people just let it just wear them down, especially those who work for agencies, and they have to meet deadlines and things like that. It's almost like it becomes like a burden. And I don't know, I just, anytime it got like that for me, and that may be one of the reasons I went for a while without drawing, or without painting, without even picking up anything to express myself creatively, because of things that I was going through in life. And it wasn't until things got really, really hard for me is when I really started picking it up again. Now, I don't know why it took that, but once I started picking it up again and started doing it again, it just changed everything. It changed everything about my mental state of mind. It became therapeutic for me. And so when you see me doing this, I'm doing this because it gives me a sense of release. It gives me a sense of relaxation. Sometimes, if y'all familiar with my videos, y'all see I like to drink coffee, and when I drink my coffee, I just sip my coffee and I start painting, I start drawing, I just start doodling away, and I just get off into what it is I'm doing because it takes me away. I lose track of time. It's almost like an hour or 2 or 3 hours will go by in a flash when I start doing this. What attracted me to the reference photo was the movement. Now, I changed the background up a little bit, and I tried to make it to where I tried to kind of change the scenery. So you have to do that. You have to be creative with what it is you're doing. You have to try to implement your own elements into art and just bring things together. I remember one time, I'm gonna tell you about a project I had in high school one time. I had a project where my instructor wanted us to make a collage. And so I chose to do chocolates. I chose to do like a bunch of chocolates, right? I was just thumbing through a magazine, and this is my very first oil painting. I painted like some M&Ms and like some Heath bars and some caramel chocolate and chocolate being poured, and I made like this collage of nothing but chocolate. And it turned out pretty good. I don't know where that painting is to this day, but it turned out pretty good. And it also helped me tap into that creative side also, because she didn't want us to do the typical painting somebody sitting in a park or on a boat or something like that. She purposely made us go outside the box, think outside of the box. And so, like I said, you have to be able to explore. You got to be willing to explore and push yourself in being creative. Okay, y'all, as promised, we're going to get into talking about my little dog named Toby. All right, so let me tell y'all about Toby. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what breed of dog this was. Y'all, to be honest with y'all, Toby was a hood dog, okay? He didn't have a breed. In the hood, when you have pets in the hood, especially dogs, they don't really have a breed. A lot of times they could be mixed with anything. Whatever's out there running around, whatever kind of dogs out there running around in the neighborhood and decide they want to get together and make another dog, that's your dog. Okay, so this is what Toby was. Toby was one of them type of dogs. Okay, but it was still my dog. So he kind of looked like this York Terrier. He was black and white though, but he wasn't a pure breed. I do know that. I was a little boy. It didn't really matter to me. I just wanted a dog. Okay. So all right. So let me tell y'all about where I was when I got my dog. All All right, so we were young. I was a little boy in about the sixth grade, seventh grade. I was in the seventh grade, and I was going to a school called Central Junior High in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And our house was right across the street. Mother rented a house in a neighborhood that was a low-income neighborhood. We were very poor people. We were very poor. We didn't have much, but Mama did the best she could. Okay, all right. I told her I wanted this dog. To be honest with you, I don't know where I got this dog from. I don't know how I ended up with this dog. All I know is I begged my mother to keep the dog, and I asked her if I could keep the dog and have the dog, and she warned me and told me about taking care of the dog. Told me, gave me this little thing about, you better take care of this dog and all of this stuff, and I told her, of course, begging and with, a big smile on my face and damn near tears running down my eyes. Of course, I'm gonna take care of this dog, and I'm gonna love this dog, and I was just gaming my mama up. That's what I was doing, y'all. I was gaming my mama up. I wasn't gonna take care. I ain't gonna say I knew I wasn't gonna take care of this dog, but I didn't think about what was required of me to take care of this dog, which was sacrificing sleep first of all. Man, who wanted to have to get up early in the morning, extra early in the morning, to go outside in the cold, man, to take care of a dog, man? Now, my house is right across the street from the school, so I didn't catch the bus. We are the type of people, we don't believe in pets being inside the house. So this dog, going back to my childhood, this dog was outside up under our carport in the backyard. This is where I kept the dog. And I wanted to build him a little house or something to, keep rain from keep him from getting wet, keep him from the sun. But I kept him in the shade though, under a carport, and there was like some bushes, some little bushes on the side that he used to, he could sit up under when I was gone. So this is how it went down with how I treated the dog. It was cold. I remember getting the dog during the season where it was cold. So it was going into the winter time. And when I would get up in the morning to go to school, my responsibility was to put water out for the dog, fresh water out for the dog, and to feed the dog. And a lot of times we just gave him scraps. We gave him our leftovers, right? Poor dog, right? This little dog was in a bad situation, right? But he was the cutest little thing. He was an adorable little dog, right? So when I would get up in the morning sometimes I would get up and I may be in a bad mood because I'm thinking about my day at school. Like, I hated going to this school. I hated living in this neighborhood. I just was not in a, I'm looking at my circumstances and I just was not at that time, I just was not the person that the average person would want to be around at this time. Even though I was young, I was kind of grumpy. And in the morning time, I was the most grumpiest. So when I would get up, I would go outside, and if it was too cold, I wouldn't change the dog's water out. Now there could be stuff floating in the dog's water, and I remember vividly seeing this dirty water, and I would leave the dog's water like it was, right? And go in the house, finish putting my clothes on, and go to school. And that was just cruel, man. That was really, really, really cruel for a little boy not to love his dog like that. And you may say, this kid what was wrong with this kid? To be honest with you, I don't know what was wrong with me. I just know that I didn't want to. Now, when I would get out of school and come home, I loved playing with the dog. The dog was fun and adorable, and I loved playing with the dog. But as far as the responsibility went, I did not want to take care of this dog. So now this is the best part of the story right here. So one day, now I kept the dog on a little thin chain, right? This was little, this wasn't a thick chain. This wasn't a regular pet chain. Like I said, we were poor, so I don't know where I got this chain from. I don't know. I think it was like a bike chain or some kind of chain, but I kept the dog on this little thin chain. The dog ended up getting loose, right, and running through the neighborhood loose. And so one of the little boys from my school found the dog roaming through the neighborhood. His name was Francois. Now, around probably about a couple of blocks from where we lived was a housing project called the Eastgate Projects, housing projects. And, they kind of had a reputation for being bad. Them kids was bad as hell, right? So we all went to school together. So anyway, the dog got loose. Francois got the dog and took the dog home. So I got word from some more little cats that they went to my school that Francois had my dog. And the way that they were hyping it up, it was like, and he ain't giving him back. And so if you come from this area, right, if you come from this part of town, I didn't even have any big brothers, okay? It was just me. I was the oldest child. But, I had older cousins, so it kind of made me kind of tough. So any little cats my age, I was ready to rumble and scrap with them. I was pretty scrappy. I wasn't afraid. So I was prepared to go and get my dog back, even if I had to fight to get my dog back, right? Because somebody takes something from you, you just didn't let that happen. So anyway, I ended up finding him and confronting him about the dog, right? And it came to find out he didn't take the dog. Like he found the dog and he just took the dog home, but he didn't take the dog out of my yard. And honestly, after we talked, and I don't remember what the conversation was about, but I know my conscience my conscience started killing me because I knew that I was not taking care of the dog like I was supposed to. So I went ahead and let him keep my dog. Don't that sound crazy? Who let somebody just keep their dog? But I just did not want to take care of the dog no more. So I let him go. I let poor little Toby go. And Toby he was just a cute little dog. He was just an adorable little dog. Just like this dog in this picture that I'm drawing, right? He was an adorable little dog. He was black and white. And but yeah, I didn't take care of the dog. I ended up losing the dog, and I feel horrible as an adult about it because now I think about, like, what makes you want to let your dog go? What makes you let your pet go? Just give your pet away. That's like a bad parent, right? All right, y'all, don't be too hard on me in the comments. But I wanted to share that story with y'all. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Remember, subscribe and like and share. And Ghost gonna get with y'all on the next one, okay? All right. Stay focused.